Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? Ask any entrepreneur and they'll tell you there are two sides to every business. There's the stuff that you love, the reason you get out of bed in the morning, and then there's the stuff that you don't like at all. The things you put off for weeks, or the stuff that just keeps you up at night. For me, that's bookkeeping and taxes. I cannot stand them. That's where Found comes in. Found is business banking built specifically for the self-employed. It's the one app that handles your banking, bookkeeping, taxes, and invoicing. All that annoying stuff that you put off forever. Found just makes it that much easier. So sign up for Found Business Banking and you'll see why they call it all in one. Found tracks your expenses and helps you find write-offs. It tracks your income and calculates your taxes. And Found automatically saves the right amount so that you're not left scrambling at tax time. Sign up is super easy. It's free and takes just minutes. Plus, if you spend $100 with your Found card within the first 30 days, you'll get a $25 bonus in your account. There's no commitment. Try Found today and see what a difference it could make. Head to found.com/younger or use promo code younger to try Found today. Terms and conditions apply. Found is a financial technology company, not a bank. Found's banking services are provided by Piermont Bank, member FDIC. Remember, head to found.com/younger or use promo code younger to try Found today. Hey, any youngers, it's your host, Jen Glantz, back with another episode of the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. Let's talk about artificial intelligence today. I know that is not a topic that we often talk about on this podcast, but recently I have been obsessed with AI, with figuring out what it could do, what it does, and even how it might disrupt my business, my industry, and how I could learn it to help disrupt my own industry before it possibly disrupts what I'm doing. So one of the biggest things out there right now is a tool called ChatGPT, which you might have heard from in passing or on the news or just people talking about it. But basically, if you've never heard of ChatGPT before, it is a chatbot that you can go to that is powered by AI, artificial intelligence, that you could ask it questions, ask it for help with something, ask it to find you something, and within a couple of seconds, it will answer that prompt for you, or it will have that conversation with you. It's a pretty powerful tool because it could do everything from write a cover letter for you, to answer a question for you, to even provide you with step-by-step help on how to do something for the first time, like build a website or create your own personal brand. And it's just taking all of this information from what's out there on the internet, from just what's been out there to create this artificial intelligence for this chatbot. So I had never really used it before, and I decided to give it a try to give me personal advice. I figured before I dived into using ChatGPT for my work and for my business and for just entrepreneurial projects, why not try to use it for advice? So I went to the ChatGPT chatbot and I was like, okay, what am I going to use it for? And I thought about something that I'm not very good at, that I'm looking to get better at. And one of those things that I'm always trying to improve on is getting better at saying goodbye. I am the world's worst person when it comes to saying goodbye. And that goes from everything from saying goodbye to a person I'm not going to see for a while, to ending a conversation over brunch with a friend, to even ending a conversation with a stranger that I just met. I am the type of person who will linger in that conversation because I don't want it to end. Oftentimes, we all know that person that just keeps the conversation going, and that person is me. I will ask like 15 unimportant follow-up questions just because I don't want the conversation to end. When Adam and I first started dating, he'd often call me a lot, and when the call was about to end, instead of saying, okay, well, I'll talk to you later, I would sense that the call was going to end and I would just hang up. Yes, I would just hang up. And so often he'd call me back and say, did we get disconnected or did you just hang up on me? And I had to explain to him that I hung up on him because I didn't want to say goodbye. And this just felt easier for a person like me that literally struggles so much with just ending things or saying goodbye. I'm like this with everything, even things. Like I will collect piles of things that don't really have much of a meaning anymore because I'm sad to let them go. If you go to my parents' house in Florida and look through some of those plastic bins in the garage, you'll see everything from piles of letters that I wrote from summer camp to yearbooks that I haven't opened in so long to Milky pens. I don't know if you remember this, but I loved Milky pens back in the day, and I have like a box of unopened Milky pens that I'm saving for I don't know what. Chances are the milk inside of them have dried up, but I'm saving them. There's also parts of my business and my life as a content creator that I wish I didn't do anymore, but I can't give up on it. I have such a problem with saying goodbye and with giving up. Because I don't really listen to the advice of humans, I decided to turn to ChatGPT for this to see what kind of advice it would give me. So all I did was open up the chatbot and I said, okay, I need help figuring out how to say goodbye. And I'm going to read to you what the chatbot spit out to me because honestly, I feel like it was such quality advice. Like if you don't have one of those friends in your life who gives you like the world's best advice, or you don't have anyone to talk to about things, I find the advice that this chatbot gave me to be pretty spot on and pretty powerful. So here's what it said to me at first. It said, Jen, saying goodbye can be difficult, but here are some things you can do to make it easier. I was like, okay, automatically, I love this because you're already making me feel less alone. You're telling me that the problem I have is hard, and then you're giving me advice. So number one, it says to say goodbye, express your gratitude. Take a moment to express your appreciation for the time you've spent together and the positive impact the person has had on your life. Let them know that you're grateful for the memories you shared and the lessons that you've learned for them. So I like that because if you are like me and you struggle to say goodbye, rather than just say, okay, this is great, I'll see you later, you could sort of end the conversation or end the hug with the person by telling them, you know, I'm really grateful for meeting you. I'm grateful for this conversation. Thank you for teaching me X, Y, and Z. So I liked that method as a way of saying goodbye without it feeling so permanent. Number two was be honest. If you're feeling sad or emotional about the goodbye, it's okay to express those feelings. Honesty can help you process your emotion and make the goodbye feel more meaningful. One of the biggest reasons why I'm so scared to say goodbye is because I know that it makes me emotional to end a conversation or say goodbye to somebody that I'm not going to see for a while. So according to this chatbot, being honest about that could help because you're being vulnerable, you're being authentic, and you're letting the person know truly how you feel. And maybe there's closure in just doing that. Number three, offer well wishes. Wish the person well in their future endeavors and let them know that you'll be rooting for them from afar. Encourage them to stay in touch and keep you updated on their life. This one I thought was perfect for the strangers that I often meet when I'm walking around or having conversations with. Rather than sort of making plans with them or even just sort of falsifying the conversation by saying, we should get together, we should be friends. There's sometimes when you meet people and that's just it. You met them, and now it's time to move on. You're not going to see them again. You're not going to have brunch with them. They're just people you met, and it's sort of mutual that that meeting might be the only meeting that you have. In those cases, rather than saying a goodbye that's not genuine or just saying a harsh goodbye, wishing them well, telling them that you're cheering them on, and that's a great way of sort of just ending that type of interaction. Number four, keep it simple. Sometimes less is more when it comes to a goodbye. A simple goodbye or take care can be as effective as a long, drawn-out speech. There's often situations like phone calls where you don't need to hang up on the person like I do or share this whole monologue to get off the phone with them. You can simply say, it was really great talking to you. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Or just say, it was great talking to you. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Those are things that I definitely have to get better at and work on. To be honest, I know this advice came from an AI chatbot, but I found it to be really good and really useful. Sort of tough on the heart, but also smart to follow. Right now I'm inside this bubble as a new mom where I have to get better at saying goodbye, especially the stuff that's taking up too much time. I'm somebody who's really good at beginnings, beginning a conversation, beginning a project, but I'm not very good at endings. And if you're like me, maybe you needed this advice from ChatGPT. But even better was the final line that ChatGPT sent to me on this prompt. They said, "Remember that goodbyes are a natural part of life. And while they may be difficult, they also provide opportunities for growth and new experiences." What a big takeaway. I felt like that was something that reminded me that even though I'm not good at saying goodbye, when we let things go or when we simply just get closure, it opens us up to new things in life. So that was my experience using ChatGPT. I think it was awesome to just try it out for advice, and I'm curious to see if you're using it or what it could be used for in the future. Is it something that you're willing to integrate into your life? Or are you taking the advice from this podcast and eager to just say goodbye to it? Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz. Hey you! Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, anyyounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. Oh, and join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives, for a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.